I knew something was wrong. The instant my phone lit up because my little sister never FaceTimes me in the middle of the day, and she definitely never calls while crying. But before I explain what I saw on that trembling screen, I need to take you back to where this entire nightmare began, the moment our quiet suburb started cracking open. Subscribe to Behind the Hedges for more HOA stories. My sister Lily Hart and I moved into Cedar Lane Heights 2 years ago. Perfect hedges, forced smiles, neighbors who waved like they were auditioning for a brochure. The kind of HOA neighborhood that sells perfection but hides rot behind every trimmed lawn. Lily was born with a severe spinal condition, so she uses a wheelchair. But she's brilliant, quick-witted, and tougher than anyone gives her credit for. None of that mattered to our HOA president, Darla Merrick. To her, Lily's ramp ruined the aesthetic. Our wheelchair van disrupted uniformity, even the medical supply packages. On our porch were visual clutter. Filed complaints twice. Darla just smiled like a queen addressing peasants and said, "The HOA decides what belongs here." Things escalated a month later when 2 men started patrolling our street. All black tactical vests labeled HOA security, radios on their shoulders, boots heavy enough to echo through the cul-de-sac. They weren't cops. They weren't even close. No patches, no IDs, just attitude and cheap intimidation. Lily said they watched her every time she backed her wheelchair down the driveway. She tried to brush it off. I tried to be patient, but harassment doesn't fade. It grows teeth. Everything exploded on a Thursday afternoon. I'd stepped out for groceries while Lily stayed home watering her plants like she always did, spray bottle in hand, humming to herself on the porch. 10 minutes later, my phone buzzed with a FaceTime request. When I answered, Lily's face filled the screen, red, shaking, terrified. "Come home," she whispered. "Please hurry." Then the camera flipped and I saw them. 2 fake HOA cops standing over her in our driveway, one gripping the back of her wheelchair like he owned it, the other leaning inches from her face, yelling something I couldn't hear. My vision tunneled. I stomped the gas so hard my tires screamed across pavement. When I shot into our street, I saw it with my own eyes. 2 grown men towering over my sister, her cheeks streaked with tears, her face red from where someone had slapped her. She wasn't fighting. She was trembling, trying to shield herself with her hands. Something inside me cracked wide open. I jumped out before my car even stopped rolling. One of the men turned toward me and smirked. "Step back! This is HOA business." He had no idea what he'd just set in motion. I stepped forward. "You should have checked who you're messing with, because those men weren't alone with Lily. And I wasn't arriving alone either. My twin brothers were seconds away. Navy veterans, unpredictable, protective, and coming in hot." As the fake officer's grin faltered, Lily whispered through shaking breaths, "Don't let them touch me again." My fists curled. My stance shifted. And that was the moment the second fake cop made the biggest mistake of his life. He reached for the gun on his hip. He didn't draw that pistol as a warning. He aimed it directly at Lily. The moment her eyes widened and she froze in her wheelchair, something inside me went silent, like the world held its breath before shattering. Then tires screeched behind me. A black pickup slid into the street like it had been launched. Doors slammed open before the engine even died. My brothers were here. Ethan and Cole Hart, twins, Navy veterans, and the last 2. People on Earth you'd want to threaten their little sister in front of. Ethan, calm as a surgeon, lifted his sidearm one-handed and spoke in a voice that could freeze boiling water. "Drop the gun, slowly." The thin fake officer swung toward him. Wrong move. Cole was already on him. 3 strides, a twist, a slam. The guy hit the driveway face first so hard the concrete shocked dust upward. His gun skittered into the grass. He screamed as Cole planted a knee between his shoulder blades. The bigger fake cop panicked and yanked out his own gun, but Ethan moved like gravity obeyed him. A swift chop to the wrist, a sharp hook behind the knee, and the man collapsed before he could even blink. 2 fake officers, armed and violent, were on the ground in under 6 seconds. Lily clutched the sides of her chair, shaking and staring at them like she still couldn't believe what almost happened. Cole grabbed the thin man by the collar and lifted his face off the pavement. "You pointed a gun at a girl in a wheelchair," he growled. "Who sent you?" The man whimpered. Cole slammed him back down. Answer or I break more than your pride. Ethan crouched beside the bigger one. Voice calm, dangerous. Tell the truth. The big man cracked instantly. Darla Merrick, he choked. The HOA president? She hired us. Said the girl was causing trouble. Said we needed to scare her. My stomach twisted. Darla, the same woman who complained about Lily's ramp, her van, her boxes. The same woman who'd smiled at us like a dictator giving permission to breathe. Now she had hired armed imposters to intimidate a disabled resident. Lily reached for my hand. Her fingers trembled. They said I needed to comply, she whispered, or they'd force me. Ethan's jaw tightened. Cole's eyes burned. This isn't just HOA garbage anymore, Cole said. This is criminal. Before I could respond, sirens echoed through Cedar Lane Heights. Real sirens, not the cheap sound system. Darla used for HOA patrol announcements. Police cruisers turned the corner, lights flashing across the silent neighborhood. Lily straightened slightly, watching the real officers step out. Sergeant Alden, firm posture, steady eyes, scanned the scene. The guns in the grass, Lily's bruised cheek. The two men pinned to the concrete. Explain, he said. They assaulted my sister, I answered. He hit her. He pointed a gun at her, and they claimed the HOA president told them to. Ethan added quietly, we stopped them before it got worse. Alden nodded once. Step back. Cole rose slowly, brushing dust off his hands like he was wiping away the last of his restraint. Officers rolled the fake cops over and found everything. Phony badges, illegal weapons, zip ties, and a printed page labeled, Compliance Target, Lily Hart. Alden's jaw twitched. They're both under arrest for multiple felonies. The thin one tried to stammer excuses. Alden shut him down. Then, just as the officers lifted them off the ground, a sleek pearl-white SUV turned into the neighborhood, moving with entitled confidence, and stepping out was the last person any of us wanted to see. Darla Merrick. Darla! Merrick stepped out of her SUV like she owned the pavement beneath her heels. Perfect hair, perfect blazer, that same polished arrogance she wore like perfume. The moment she spotted the police, her expression twisted with outrage instead of fear. Excuse me, she snapped, stomping forward. Those men work for the HOA. Release them immediately, Lily flinched at her voice. Cole let out a low, humorless laugh that made two neighbors step back behind their fences. Sergeant Alden lifted a hand. Ma'am, step aside. I will not, Darla barked. I authorized them to enforce HOA regulations. This family has been violating standards for months. The ramp, the van, the boxes. They refuse to follow our rules. Ethan's expression didn't shift, but his voice did, cold, sharp. You ordered armed men to intimidate a disabled woman? Darla's gaze snapped too. Lily's bruised cheek. She froze for a single heartbeat, then her face hardened even more. She refused compliance, she said. We run a disciplined neighborhood. My stomach burned. She watered her plants. Darla ignored me, turning toward Alden. Officer, this family is known for creating issues. Those men were simply maintaining order, Alden. Pulled out a folder, evidence, collected from the fake officers. We found your written instructions. Ms. Merrick, directing them to target a disabled resident, encouraging them to apply pressure if she resisted. Darla's face drained of color. That's not what I meant. They must have misunderstood. They impersonated law enforcement, Alden continued. They carried illegal weapons, and they assaulted a disabled woman on your request. This is ridiculous, Darla said, voice cracking as officers moved toward her. You have no right. Ma'am, Alden cut in firmly. Turn around. When the handcuffs clicked around her wrists, Lily finally exhaled. A soft, shaky breath that seemed to release days, months, years of tension. Darla twisted in fury as officers guided her toward the cruiser. You can't do this! I run this neighborhood! Cole shook his head. Not anymore. Ethan placed a hand gently on Lily's shoulder. You're safe now, he murmured. She looked at each of us with tears building but not falling. Strong even now. Thank you, she whispered. All of you. The neighborhood that once watched, Lily with judgment now watched in silence. People peeked from porches and windows, the truth finally hitting them. She wasn't the problem. The woman running the place was. As Darla's SUV was impounded and the fake officers were loaded into cruisers, the last of the tension in my chest finally loosened. Lily rolled forward a little, stopping between all three of us, placing her hands on ours. "You saved me," she said. Ethan kneeled beside her, his voice soft. "We protected our own." Cole ruffled her hair, gentle despite the adrenaline still pumping through him. "And we always will." The sun dipped behind Cedar Lane Heights, painting the street gold, peaceful for the first time in months. A corrupt HOA president in cuffs, 2 fake cops facing felony charges, a neighborhood waking up, and 3 siblings standing beside the sister they'd do anything to defend. Sometimes heroes aren't born. They're forged in moments like these. If you're still here, don't forget to subscribe to Behind the Hedges for more HOA stories. And tell me, if someone threatened your family, how far would you go to protect them?